This video is my comment about the ruling from Menor's court case. And I'm just calling this Menor's Law. Okay, so Menor's Law, this is what it means. It really demonstrates the judge has really challenged the constitutionality. He hasn't just challenged it, he's overturned it. Okay, so were all of those things that they did in the Constitution, in the kawa, like they said? No, they weren't. Okay, that's what the judge has shown by putting Menor back in, and it only took them 1 day to work it out. So that's challenging the constitutionality, whānau. And before I get too much into this, man, just know this. I am completely sick of this crap. Sick of it. Sick of this, sick of it all. Needs to go to bed, needs to go away. And so that's what we're doing. We're trucking through all of this to get rid of it. Now, the fact that it was done so quickly is the astounding thing, even though I knew it would be done quickly, and the next part will be done quickly too, when they get to it in Feb. But it just proves that all of that whining about, we're sticking to the Constitution and they're outside the Constitution, outside our kawa, all of that crap actually lies with JT and his exec being outside of the Constitution. That's all it is. And there's really been some good analysis made by external people now as they've looked at it. And one of the clear things that showed this all up was in the very media release that they did announcing the purported expulsions, where Debbie said, when she was asked, well, how did the MPs vote? And Debbie said, no, the MPs don't vote. Red flag, because in the Constitution, the MPs absolutely vote. So as soon as she said that, pretty much hung the party. And now that it's gone to a court and it's been overturned without even much exercising of any muscle, well, that just tells you what it is. And so it also tells you that it's all been unlawful. So the meetings that they held, they were unlawful. The votes that they made, they were unlawful. The resolutions that they passed, they were unlawful. The suspension that they did, that was unlawful. And the expulsions that they did, they were unlawful too. So there's a whole lot of unlawful carrying on for such a small crowd. Okay, but it is what it is. When you take a first cut look at that, you think, well, what else do we need to know, Te iwi? What else do we need to know? Nothing. But if we do need to keep going, we will, because we're sick of this and we're just going to get it done. So the other thing is that they've done this at great cost to the party itself. Okay, to the party and to the people that make that party up. Okay, not the MPs, not the crew in Parliament, the people out there, all of you. Okay, the 25,000 Te Taitonga voters. That's who. The 25,000 Taitogaro voters. Okay, and the tens of thousands, the thousands, probably hundreds of thousands young Māori who are going to become voters. That's what they've done. Okay, so here's what I mean, right? So expelling 2 of your members means that the party is no longer an official party in the eyes of Parliament. So you have to have over more than 5 MPs to be deemed an official party in the House. And being an official party comes with particular privileges, things that you don't get if you're not an official party. So getting rid of 2 of your 6 is such a stupid idea, because it revokes your official party status. And you have to give up a whole lot of things. And those are all things, those are all privileges in Parliament that the party earned, that the people earned by showing up and voting. And they just gave them away for nothing. So they also lose 2 MPs and all of the MPs' budget. So me and Menor being expelled basically gave away about $1 million worth of MP funding that the party uses. So just gave that away. Me and Menor, the last couple of years, have given the party $100,000 each. So that's $200K each to help the party run, the central party, the central office. Okay, they call it the leader's office, but I don't know how accurate that is. But they no longer get that. So they gave that away. They've given up the questioning platform. This is one of the most key things, really, giving away the questioning platform. So we used to get 2 or 3 primary questions a week and about 11 or 12 supplementary questions a week. So now they only get 1, maybe 2 if they're lucky a week, but 1 a week. Okay, and only 6 supplementary questions. So they just gave that all away. They gave it away. Those are hard-fought privileges in Parliament that the people have earned over a long period of time, 20 years, and they just gave it away. And for what? For the egos. That's it. They've absolutely slandered the Kapakini name, whānau name, and then they eventually got to slandering mine too. There's a lot of Ferrises out there, by the way. Yeah, so, one of the things that, one of the lines out of this whole debacle that I will never forget is this one. Tākuta Ferris, a rogue MP. Tākuta Ferris, rogue MP. Rogue MP. Oh, mate, I'll tell you. I'm pretty sure it was just me defending Pāti Māori against the Tākuta Moana bill that whole week. I'm pretty sure I've done like 3 days in the house just back to back the whole time. Done the whole thing. Okay, yeah, that was me. Yeah, there was no party plan. There was no other MPs doing it. It was just me. And you know where Rawiri was? He was in China. Yeah, choice. Rogue MPing in China. And, while all of this is going on, we got one in China, we got one in bloody going to Hawaii, we got a president who's been on holiday, haven't seen him for a bloody month. You want to talk about rogue MPs. Too much. But yeah, I'll never forget that. The old rogue MP korero. But hey, like I say, we are sick of this, and this is about moving this all on, iwi, because we all know that the AGM is this week. So I want you to all be clear on what you're now dealing with before you go and consider that AGM and what gets done there. And so all of that rubbishing of the Kapakini name, that rubbishing of the Ferris name, it was all for nothing. It was all false. Okay, we know now that Meno's budget was not overspent. We also know that, and don't forget this, Te Whānau, when they put that all out, Meno's budget was tracking to be overspent. It wasn't overspent. Okay, and it was tracking to be overspent because the leader's office wasn't going to pay their own bills. So now that that's clear, now that there's official Parliament position that you didn't overspend it, what now? And don't worry, there's all official records showing it for all you people out there who like, show me the receipts. Hey, catch up. This is a serious thing. This ain't no sideshow. Yeah, so you can't get more official than this overruling of the court. So, false allegations, and what you're dealing with here, Itiiwi, is people who are master character assassins. That's what they are. Master character assassins. And this is how they do it. They get together, little 3 or 4 of them, and they invent a story. Okay, they invent a story. Make one up. It's fiction. It's not real. They invent the story. And they all get it together and they agree it, right? So there's 3 or 4 of them. They all know what the detail is of their invented story. And then they go out and they spread that story around a little bit wider group. Okay, so the 3 or 4 turn into 10 or 12. Then you've got 10 or 12 people running this invented story. Then they get themselves into a formal forum, okay, in a meeting or something. And they start talking about this invented story. And because they've told 10 or 12 other people, then other people start to validate the invented story, and this is how they do it. So this narrative starts to grow around this inventive story. Then they'll get into a hui, and they'll make some accusations about the invented story. And then someone will say, yeah, I heard that. No, yeah, that's true. And all of a sudden you got accusations and validation of the invented story. This is literally what they do and how they do it at Te Whānau. Then they'll move to another meeting where they're formalizing it by making a motion or a resolution. Then they'll produce a fact sheet of all this detail about the invented story and how true it is. Then they'll leak that out to the media so that everyone starts talking about it. And this is what they did to the Kapakinis. This is what they did to Meno. They tried to do it to me, but they didn't really hit. And I'll tell you this much. I told JT in one of these hui, as he was rattling this invented story off to everyone, I says to him, you can go out and say that, JT, but here's the thing, no one will believe you. Nah, JT, no one believes you. That's right, because invented stories don't mean crap when you come to dealing with us, our real people. Pāti Māori on the ground. Okay, the ones that really count. So, like I said, I'm sick of this and we're moving right on, whānau. We've got an AGM tomorrow. And ngai tahu, te taitonga, but ngai tahu included, the iwi of Te Tauihu included, of Pōneke included. the iwi of Ngāti Kahungunu included, have called for a hui for you to come and talk to us. Okay, the people that voted in Te Taitonga want to hear straight out of the horse's mouth why all of this has occurred, why they have been ignored, why their rights were trampled on, why they weren't consulted, why their person has been expelled without their knowing, all of this stuff. Okay, so yeah, there's probably enough on that. Now, when it comes to this, we've tried everything. They haven't tried anything, whānau. They've been ghosting us for the last nearly 2 months. And ghosting means they just completely ignore you. Okay, and this is a real this is a real thing you want to know and understand it, Iwi. They've been ghosting us, and they're doing it because they really don't. They want to just avoid any type of open forum conversation, any type of accountable conversation. So they've been ghosting us, and they've been doing it since October, since the Utu Hui. They've been doing it since then. And so the only forms of communication that have been utilized since then have been either email or formal letter. Okay, so all of this tikanga and our kawa and all of that, it's all a crock, and we are completely sick of this. So, since the 9th of October, that's been going on into iwi. Only emails, only letters. It's completely Pākehā behaviour. It's completely corporate behaviour. And it absolutely kills tikanga. It kills kawa. It kills kotahitanga. It kills wairuatanga. It kills whanaungatanga. It is the antithesis of Māori. Okay, and that's what's being exercised here by this exec and their president. So you've got this JT and his exec doing this. Okay, they're exercising this corporate behaviour, this tikanga Pākehā behaviour over a kaupapa Māori political movement. Okay, just let that sink in, man. They're exercising this tikanga Pākehā, corporate tikanga, over a kaupapa Māori political people movement. Okay, so you just got to stand up and just not let that be allowed, e te iwi, because that's what it is. So, and then look, lastly, because I know this is getting long, but lastly, the press release. The press release they put out was an utter joke. Utter joke. Just another attempt to undermine Maria Meno and the Kapakingis, whilst the judge completely rolled their case. Okay, so they're trying to say, oh, well, she asked for 4 resolutions, but only one of them was upheld. Well, here's the thing, mate. It was the ultimate clanger one. The other 3 were just like, fodder. So our president has been preserved and we get to still do our AGM and pass our resolution. Oh, well, Meno will be at that hui. So that the stupidity of it, why you would put something like that out so quick, rather than just go back through the process of speaking and talking through it. Because there are going to be senior people at that AGM. The ex-presidents and ex-leaders put a letter forward to this party to say, come to a hui. We're not just going to let you do this. We're not going to walk away from this. You need to come to a hui. And they will be at that hui, at the AGM. I know that our Te Taitonga kaumātua are going to be at that hui. Okay, I know there are going to be a lot of people at that hui who will want to have a say and will expect to have a say. And if you deny them a say, well, then that just validates the point even further. Even further. So the press release, just a joke at te whānau. Debbie said in it, our priority has always been our people. Well, look, you literally cut out 20,000 people from Te Taitonga and 20,000 from Te Taitokerau. So were those 40,000 people of your Māori people part of your people? Is that your priority is your people? So you didn't even consult them, didn't talk to them, just kicked out the people that they voted for? That's what you're dealing with there. Rawari reckons that, to make this a one-term government, kotahitanga must prevail. Kotahitanga. Well, you could have achieved kotahitanga by showing up to any one of the 3 ngāpuhi hui that were called for you, or the iwi leader hui that was called for you. So you've had 4 shots at some kotahitanga. And okay, yep, rightio. So there's another hui that Te Taitonga are calling for you the next Sunday. So have a come to that and talk some kotahitanga there. Te whānau, and I know everybody is hoha and hurt. And trust me, the Kapakingis and us, the Ferrises, we're pretty hoha. We're completely sick of this, but we don't really get hurt. We just get on. just get on moving it forward. Okay, we've just been moving this thing forward, just piece by piece by piece by piece, and that's what we will continue to do until the thing is done. So, you know, kia u kia mau is my message for Te iwi Māori. We have to get on with it, and we will be getting on with it. You know, we are getting on with it. This win of Menor's law, that is a huge part of getting on with it, because the rot has to get cut out. Ruia taitea kia tū ko tai kākā. You have to get rid of the waste wood so that you're left with the heart of the log. Okay, and that's the heart of the kaupapa. So, kia kaha e te whānau. I know this has dragged on for a long time. Trust me, we've been in it for the longest. And but I do see a light shining just not too far. Just beyond my reach, not beyond my sight. But every step we take gets it closer. So, kia mau kia u, kia manawa nui, aroha nui ki te whānau. Just get out there and keep being great, celebrating our successes and all of that. And akua nei a kino tō ai mehe rā. Before you know it, all of this will be in the past. It'll be a thing that we look back to and say, oh, yeah, we'll never do that again. And we will be charging on forward, powerful, to a better future. Kia ora tātou.